Good evening, everybody, and festive wishes to every single one of you who's tuned in, not live, for our pre-recorded long-run show.
Look.
Christmas special that's not yet Christmas special. Does that make... Wilco, we haven't got the Christmas hats on. We've let ourselves down, really. To be fair, Wilco is a last-minute substitution because Al's had to go. Where's Al gone?
Al's is off to Jersey, Parkrun.
Yeah,
on the island of Jersey. So
Island Jersey. So Wilco's kindly stepped up to take part in our first Christmas special because there's going to be two of these. All right, you're listening to this one. Next week there'll be another one. And how we're doing this one is us sort of looking back at our year, and so we're going to be talking about the stuff that we've been doing and whether that's your kind of thing or not. And then next week we're going to be talking about looking forward. We thought we'd do a couple of those, make a little change from adding so much value to the runners of the world. We thought we'd talk amongst ourselves, really. So join us for the next 30 odd minutes as we sort of talk about that, really. We've got to give a shout out to our sponsors at Skechers. Get over to skechers.co.uk, and especially if you're in London, make sure you get along to their flagship store on Oxford Street and say hello and you're from Fordy Runs, and they will love you. Just don't mention Marissa and glow sticks. What else? Get over to Start Finish. Just go Fordy Runs. If you want some coaching, get part of our group coaching that's starting very soon. So make sure you go over to fordyruns.com, check that out. Give you a plan to give you some help with a coach. I think that's probably about it. Hayden, have I forgot to plug anything else?
I think you're all plugged up, all done.
Plugged up. I was going to use a very rude word there. Yeah, go on.
New Year's Eve quiz.
Oh, Wilco, you read my mind. I did mention that in the live one. Me and Wilco are going to be once again entertaining the nation. If you are like myself and physically feel sick by the thought of New Year's Eve, then join me and Wilco. We're going to be entertaining the nation from a time that we have yet to decide. And we're going to be doing a live quiz on this YouTube channel. And we've decided, Wilco, that we're going to put that out as a podcast because Marissa wants to listen to it while she's out on her run.
Excellent.
So we're going to put that out as well.
Well, just to say, we won't actually be physically sick.
No.
I hope not.
That wouldn't be that entertaining. No. So, Merry Christmas to everybody. This the festive season for me. I don't know about you guys. Really kicked off with that because we was all there. That winter London Christmas lights run thing that we did on Wednesday. That sort of really, I wouldn't say got me festive because I'm not a big festive person. But what are you laughing at, Hayden? But it's.
What's thinking about?
You need this hat.
Yeah. Paint your face green, and I'll tell you what, that's quite a good look. Like you could be the Grinch.
Oh, that's obviously Facebook's next post that's coming out tomorrow. Sorted out for Hayden. He's now going to go and sort that out. But Hayden, in terms of your Christmas, did that kick it all off for you?
Absolutely. It always seems like the industry I work in, we're quite heavily themed around Christmas. So it gets to that end of November, mid-November, and it really starts to kick in. So I've been feeling these Christmas vibes for a while. Every radio station you put on now is just Christmas songs. So we're there, we're in it. Let's go for a Christmas lights run and just ramp that up.
I've got a question.
Go on then. On
your runs at the moment, other than listening to award-winning podcasts like this, not one of those boring ones by those other people that are trying to replicate this, but do you listen to Christmas music when you're on your runs? Marissa, yes or no? No or yes?
I have done, but I am not yet. It's too early for me to listen to too much Christmas music.
But you do listen to it on your long run?
I will do.
Really?
Probably in a couple of weeks.
Interesting. Hayden? Now, actually, that's unfair. Hayden, the guy who runs alongside you with a speaker that you employ to run alongside you, does he have Christmas? Is he made to have Christmas music on that speaker yet?
Not yet, but he is Michael Bublé, so he might start singing live for me. So that might be handy.
What about in the limo? Does Jeeves play it?
No, he don't like it. He's more like Radio 4, a bit classical.
Oh, that's a surprise. Wilco, talk to us. Do you listen to Christmas music on your runs?
Yeah, I've got a Christmas playlist that is about an hour long because there's only about 20 good Christmas records. So, yeah, very much so.
Wilco.
I know,
very much so. Yeah,
on his wireless.
Yeah, no, I carry a big gramophone with me.
Yeah. Hayden's got his geezer.
Ear trumpet.
You track it along. It's interesting. I just thought that. I wonder who actually listens because I wouldn't.
Why not? It's good. I'll tell you what. If you're a bit bored, it gives you gives you a bit of a lift as you're out on a dreary day, just in the run up for Christmas, and you're going past people and they've got the trees up and stuff like that. It gives you a bit of a lift.
Yeah,
I highly recommend it.
Right. Okay. So I want to talk amongst us. And I think next week we've got a different team on, haven't we, Hayden? Have we got a different team on?
Yes, I believe we do. Yeah.
So that we'll get a nice variation. We can try and get all the team on over this festive period. But it's always worth looking back. I think as runners, as sports people, as athletes, Marissa.
Obviously.
It is. No, genuinely, I think to improve, it is worth stopping and looking back at your year and going, you know what? I learned this, I learned that, I did that well, I was shit at that, and I can do this better. And then take that, and then obviously next week we then look forward. So I think it's worth just mulling it over. So starting off, what would you say? And again, it doesn't. Ideally, it's running. I mean, but let's say you as a runner.
Was that directed at me?
No. Let's keep the club and community out of it for now. We'll come on to that, because there's so many highlights from that this year. But are you personally, as a runner, as an athlete, as a sports man or woman or person, what was your sort of proudest moment of 2024, Wilco?
I think generally the fact that for the second time I managed to get through 2 marathon training plans was quite a big achievement.
Mm-hmm.
I did the first one was the Leeds Marathon, and I got my best time in that. It was a tough run, but because of the Rob Burrow, Kevin Sinfield story and all that, being involved in that gave me a real lift, and it was one of those sort of like, this is why I do it. This is, to be involved in an event with all this going on. That's what I got the most out of. So I think the highlight was the Leeds Marathon.
Are you going to do it again? I mean, next year is going to be, I think, bigger.
No, I won't.
No?
Mainly because although I enjoyed the event, the course was particularly tough. There's one big hill that I'd planned for about 6 months, but I didn't necessarily plan for the big downhills that I also had to do. And I think that if I did it again, I would be preparation for those elements of the course would give me such a sort of like mental issues during the training plan, and they'll get built up and up and up and up. I just feel that I'd be better off ticking that one off, saying what a great experience it was, and going to look on to do something else.
Okay, fair enough. Marissa, in terms of you as a runner, not as a drinker, what would Hayden? What would you say was your highlight?
Oh, I don't think I've got one though. I've got quite a few.
No, you have to have one.
I haven't got one.
I might allow two.
Probably my 5K,
Right.
which, I've got to 28 minutes 40 or something.
Amazing.
But that is like, for me, going from 44 minutes for my first part run to 28 minutes 40 is just...
And because we're focusing on one event at the moment, you need to give perspective for the fact that your PB before you went into that race was what?
Before I went into the race, my PB for that was, what was it, 32? Oh, no, at the beginning of this year, my PB for parkrun was 32:51. So I'm now 28:35, I think, on parkrun.
So amazing.
Brilliant.
And that I'm really, really proud of. Actually.
You should be.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
So that's probably number one.
Good for you. And I said I'd allow a second.
I just got under an hour 10K, so that I'm really, really pleased with as well.
And you ran that and like almost blinded, like by the light the whole way. So you ran that almost like, I think you could have gone like.
Oh, my lovely Darren! Oh, he shone a light for me to follow.
I'm only saying it because Hayden's thinking it, Darren. If you're listening to this, and I don't agree with it, you're my guy.
Yeah.
Hayden, what about you? Watching the cricket or whatever you did that T100 thing?
I was really pleased I'd done that. There's something different this year. No, the triathlon. There was something different this year. Was that my proudest moment? No, probably not. I think I was have confidence that I knew I could do that. Mine's a little bit different. I don't ever really put myself out there and say I'm going to do this. I'm going to go for that. I want to do this. Like with regards to a particular race, and I did from a long way back. Say at Berlin, I knew I wanted a time. I knew what time I wanted, and I put it out there and I told people. Probably indirectly, because I wanted pressure on myself, because it's the only way I thought maybe I would be able to get it. And I did tell people that, and I done it, and I went out there and I got it. It wasn't necessarily my fastest race. It wasn't my best performance race, no, but it was something that I wanted, and I got it. So for that reason, probably my run at Berlin Marathon was probably, when I look at it, probably my best achievement. I said not just running wise, just the fact of putting it out.
No,
there.
I think that's a and I disagree with you there. I think that was your best performance because you owned it. You said I'm going to go and do this, and you performed. Now, don't get me wrong, because I know you've run faster times and all that sort of stuff, and a lot of that can sometimes come down to I was right on the day. The course was great. I got out. I got free air. Blah, blah, blah. But you, like Ben, just to give an example, or like Marissa, you went up. I'm going to go and run a PB today. I'm going to run this today. I think that's exceptionally hard to do.
Great.
And then you perform on the day. I think that is the ultimate performance, because and it doesn't matter whether it is a PB or not. It's the fact that you performed. Does that make sense?
I've always said to Ben, I've always had so much admiration for Ben, especially in particular in the last year, where he's come out and he said it's been prompted by you and you let the cat out of the bag. But when he said I'm going to go and run a sub 25k, I'm going to go and run a sub 19 5k. He just tells you, says, do you know what I'm going to go for? I'm going to do it, and he does. And I've got so much admiration, because that takes guts, that takes bollocks. You got to think to yourself, I'm going to do this, and you're always going to be thinking, am I going to let people down? I don't want to be looking silly. It's pressure.
Yes, the pressure.
But
when
everyone
someone
knows.
shoves the camera in your face and says you're going to do a PB today,
And
let's go.
And you perform under pressure. You really do.
You've got to remember, you're missing a key point here. He's got a very good coach.
Well, come on, let's switch this round, because I know you're not going to answer the question now. So let's put it on to you then. What about you, performance-wise this year? No, not performance-wise. That wasn't the question, was it?
No, I think it's running highlight. Was it running highlight?
No, what you're proudest of?
Proudest of, yeah, not highlight, proudest.
Probably finishing those 2 marathons injury-free. I would say coming back from first sort of major injury that I've had, being out for effectively it was actually no running for 7 weeks. But Berlin training had started and I still wasn't running. So to come back from that and have the expertise in terms of knowing how to manage myself and what I needed to do to be able to finish 2 marathons in a close time frame, but also then managing those races correctly as well. So not going out there and trying to be a hero, or I'm going to go and run a PB, or all these sorts of bollocks people try and do. It was to get round and finish them and build on the fact and be thankful that I was able to go back out and run those 2 large endurance events. But more importantly was to get through the training and still touch wood, but be injury free. I think that was probably and don't get me wrong, I was so depressed, and my mental health was so bad because of my injury, because I wasn't running. So to begin to manage that minefield and deal with all that shit that comes along with from people and all that sort of stuff, it's so hard to navigate that when you're injured. If running is your sort of lifeline, then that's even harder. So yeah, to come back from that and then do the 2 marathons and feel great. And I mean, I had a great time. I had too much of a great time in Yorkshire, basically taking the piss out of speed goat and eating a lot. But that was probably it for me, I would say.
I actually think, I didn't say at the time, because someone puts pressure on you. I actually thought you was brave when you actually took on Yorkshire, because you took it on late as well, didn't you? That wasn't in the in the plan.
No.
So I thought that was quite brave. So yeah, I think it's something you should be proud of.
And it was a pig of a day as well.
Oh mate, that storm.
It was horrible.
It was a poxy day. And to finish it, again, I ran 4:09, 4:18, 4:19, 4:20, whatever it was. It's irrelevant. It was. I felt you can ask Speak Out, because I felt strong at the end of that. I mean, I literally sprinted the last bit. I ain't done nothing. It was, and I felt great afterwards. So to prove to myself and that sort of thing that I was able to come back and do that and navigate that sort of minefield, I think. Okay, in terms of sort of proudest achievement, kind of running related, but sort of because we live and breathe running. I'm going to give you some extension. We are going to come on to. We think we can do better, but keep it positive for now. In terms of sort of expanding the universe. So it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be like, oh, well, I trained like this a little bit better. I did this a little bit better. Or I'm actually proud because I started a satellite group, Wilco, and that's that's the sort of you've got a little bit of an extension. It's not necessarily running as focused. And actually, Wilco, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, you've touched upon it. You invited me about 6 months ago to take over the running of the Broxbourne group, the oldest group in the Fordy family, and we turned it into a social group, running group. So everybody's come in. We'd sort of like just go out nice and say, and it's had a monumental effect on me. I've really enjoyed it. People are coming regularly. People, feedback's great. And it's given me a sort of like I'm less self-centered about my running now because I'm involved in that. And now I'm not thinking, so towards the future, I'm not necessarily thinking about, PBs and stuff like that. It's sort of like, well, how can I get that same buzz out of helping other people? So, one of the things I might do, I know, I'm not jumping the gun and looking forward and that, but one of the things that I'm thinking about doing next year is a bit of pacing. So that I could go out and do runs and help people get their PBs, still get all the great things of a race day that I like, meeting up with my mates afterwards, getting all that and helping other people along the way and enjoying the day. So that's really opened doors for me.
I'll tell Wilco, this isn't like Fordy would tell you, this is honest truth. I spoke to him maybe yesterday after the Christmas lights run, and he'd tell you, I phoned out and I said to him, do you know who I was absolutely massively impressive on Wednesday night? I said, the way Wilco took his group out, held them back at times, let other groups go by. You looked after that group of people there. Honestly, I just saw you do it. I just thought, I don't think Wilco would have done that a year ago. Now I'm just like,
It's a real change.
Brilliant.
It's a change the whole perspective, becoming alert. I'd recommend to anybody. It's a really good thing to do, and it opens you up to the community. And the community just carries on growing and growing and growing. And yeah, I've got so much out of it, and I'm looking forward to how things are going to kick on.
Honestly,
in the next few months and years.
I said I was talking about Ben in the last one, but Wilco, again, we're not here to blow smoke up each other's asses, but you this year, I mean, there's no one more I could have trusted to give that to, and I knew you would excel. And I'm not trying to be bigger, but I knew you would excel because of the way you are as a person. And you are doing, and I keep messaging. He does such a good job. I've been down there when I can get down, even though it's down the end of the road. But I can't overemphasize how much I appreciate Wilco taking on, because it's freed me up to do other stuff that I was struggling just to in a way live, in terms of the time that I juggle everything that I do. I'm so appreciative of everything that Wilco's done, but to then see what he's done with it is unbelievable. So I owe you a big thanks. You know how much I appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. I've loved it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. About you, Marissa?
What was the question? I got really engrossed in that.
It's to give a little bit of freedom. So it's supposed to be proud, but it's like within our running universe, what if you may have done something, or you've seen something, or you've been part of something that you're proud of?
Okay, so mine has to be China.
Oh yeah, that was unbelievable.
Because although I did it obviously on my own, I was never on my own. Like literally on that day, I had people on the phone. I had people messaging me. It's the toughest thing I've ever done in my life. And I think if I didn't have people behind me and certain people on the phone to me saying, get a move on, I would never have done that. Never. And then to have everyone sing happy birthday to me when I'd finished was, the icing on the cake.
Yeah, that was a great moment, actually.
I think that is my biggest achievement.
Yeah, it was unbelievable to go all that way to do that. Was incredible.
But
what about you, Hayden?
I've done quite a bit more pacing this year. As in previous years, I've always run with people. But this year, I've sort of tried to have it a little bit more structured, done a bit more pacing, which I think that's made me a better runner. I think it's easy to say, and people think, oh, you're just saying this, you can't do it anymore. But I definitely am past PB. whether I can run a PB or not is a different thing. It's whether I want to or not. You get your head in your hands. I'm just
Don't
more.
listen to this. This is
No,
total bollocks,
it's
right?
not. I'm into more
Just
enjoying the
fast
run.
forward this. Press the 15-second plus thing. This is going to be get the little violin out. Oh, I'm so
No.
old. I've got small hairy
No,
feet,
it's
and I
not
go
that.
to mountains and collect little.
Listen, I'm answering your question indirectly by saying I've moved on from being a runner that wants just that. To
I
wanting
know
other things,
exactly
to
what
want-
you mean, mate.
To want other achievements. I
Yeah.
want to help other people. I want to pace other people. I want to try triathlons. I want to try bike rides. I don't want to go to ultra now. That's pushing your luck too much. I want to do other things.
Oh, you want to get
outside
that?
the
You
box.
want to do that half Ironman and get that Ironman tattoo? To
Yeah.
I
pretend
do
you've
not
done
want
it,
to get a
innit?
half Ironman
That's what you
tattoo.
told
No,
Ben.
I want to get a High Rocks one.
Yeah, I want to do a High Rocks.
I'd give High Rocks a go once my back puts itself back in shape.
I
I'll
want to do a
definitely give
High
High
Rocks.
Rocks a go.
I'm going to go there.
We should get a Fordy team for
That's
Hyde.
what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Definitely.
I'll speak to my friends at Puma. I'll talk to them.
I'm away that weekend.
I'm not.
So you're sort of you're proud of your development of as a runner, but not as in getting faster, but as in your overall package.
My change of mindset, I think maybe that's a better way of
Actually,
putting it.
I take the piss, but actually, do you know what? That's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Okay, I would say we do have to touch a little bit on it, and I don't like to be negative, ninny. But what would you say? Actually, I'll tell you one thing I'm proud of. Actually, that's all right.
Yeah.
I would say that's the coaching that I do. I don't know whether you but if you go through the people that I coach, I'm so lucky to get hold of these runners and to see the achievements that we've done together this year. I'm not going to name names because most of those people, but to see people, go top 30 vitality 10K, right? Sub 3 hour marathon that's been 2 years in the making, but finish their first marathon or complete their first ever half marathon or go sub 2 or just run consistently for the first time in years. It's been an amazing thing this year. So the coaching for me is probably.
Can I just touch on that?
Yeah.
You say, oh, you've done these things. How do you look back and do you, when you've reached the end of, all your coaching thing, do you sit down and reassess how things could improve, how you could do things better, or
what as a coach?
Yeah.
Or
and how
speaking
do you do
to my client, or do I sit back and go, you know what, that client? So I've got let's say my list of 20 clients, and go, or what on me looking at my own self?
Yeah, you looking at your own sort of coaching performance. Do you do a lot of that?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I think I actually review my own performance after we finish a block. I think there's always elements of the first thing is whenever you get as a run coach, whenever you get somebody, most of the time when you get somebody, it's their first probably or second time into coaching. And probably the reason they've come to you is because the first time it wasn't working out for them. So the methodology of the simple, effective training, which is what I do, because again, if it doesn't work for me, then it's not going to work, I don't believe, for others, because I'm one of the most simple people out there. It's like a bit of a breath of fresh air. So as soon as you give them that structure and it's very simple, you do tend to, unless they're very unlucky, like with injuries and stuff, you do tend to see results straight away. It's that second or third thing that we're working towards where your coaching kicks in, where you're earning your money. So it's like, we'll use Ben. It's the easiest one to do, but it's let's say we use Ben. So we took Ben under 145. Yeah, that was the start of it. But to then move somebody from a 3:10 marathon, he went from 3:42 down to 3:11. Yeah. And then to take 3:11 down to 2:56 and absolutely not broken at the end of it, by the way, he's going to get bollocking about it.
He didn't put it in.
No. But my point is that's that second, that 2-3 third block down. And then to see him going out and running a 38-minute 10K after having a couple of weeks off because he's been lazy, is unbelievable. So that's where you sit back and you go, you know what, we've done a great job there, but what can we do to improve still? And that is the thing. I am always looking to improve. I am always looking to change the sessions around that I use that I know work. That just to get into the
tinkering.
Yeah, because the thing is, when you're dealing with people that you're trying to move, they say you'll always have that element of you'll take a big step at some point. Now it can be, it can take 2 or 3 years to get the step that we require because we have to change certain things. And as always, it takes as we go through it 16, 18, 20 weeks. just for something to happen, to get that consistency. But when you start getting into the finer things, when you're looking for 30 seconds here or an extra run a week or, something, that's where you can just change a little bit here and there. And so, yes, to answer your question, I do, but I tend to do it more as I finish a block with a client. Yeah. So what did we learn? But it's also a two-way thing as well to get the feedback. Was I a bit shit on that? Should I have not maybe pushed them that hard on that? Or actually, could we have turned that up a little bit to get a little bit, they're the sort of things. But yeah, I would say that. So in terms of the negative ninny, and then I'm going to finish on a high. What do you think you could have done better, Marissa, other than stopped all that drinking that Hayden said you was doing?
Oh, well, it's obvious, isn't it? Look, he's smirking. My marathon plan, yeah. So I sort of start and I'm really, really good. And then I get to like about week 8 and I just, go off track a little bit.
So you need to learn from that.
I need to stick to it. And the next one I'm sticking to.
Well, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
You make one that you can stick to.
I can stick to it. I get waylaid.
Yeah, but some of that happens if you're putting a plan in front of you. If you're putting something in front of you that is putting a barrier up at some point, and it doesn't matter what that looks like, then that's not the right training plan for you.
Oh.
You need to you need to have a mindset of what can I put in this week that I'm going to realistically be able to do, and you look at it that way.
I am going to be better this time.
I think she's lying. Wilco.
I've got to try and sort my weight out, really. Got to try and lose a bit of timber.
How are you going to do that?
Well, through running alone won't do it. Everybody will say, you can't outrun a bad diet. So I've got to sort my food out, which is a little bit of an issue. I've done it before. I'm sure I can do it again. So, because, I've ended the year losing my mojo a bit, feeling a bit crap, not getting out much. I had a bit of a overtraining injury. It wasn't anything really significant, but it still knocked me back for a few weeks. And it's got dark and it's got cold and
yeah, it's come at the worst time for you. I think you need a fresh mentality. I think you need to get one of them, and I'm not suck eggs here, one of them eating calorie intake app things, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I've done before, and it's worked.
Yeah, I mean,
I've just got to get.
You need
to get back on the horse. Yeah,
you need to get on the horse again. You need to take some tough choices. You need to be selfish. You need to understand it's going to take 6 weeks. You're going to feel like shit for 6 weeks because you're getting that, not getting the sugar and the crap that you're used to eating. But after 6 weeks, it's going to feel a whole lot better.
I think the issue is that they say, oh, you still need your calories if you're training and all that sort of thing. No, it is. It is for me because I still eat loads more than everybody else anyway.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
You don't need to be putting more in than you're using. This is the thing. You get that into that mindset of that's why I say it's bollocks because I need to fuel these runs. I
can't go on a diet if I'm marathon training.
But you can.
The message that comes across is that you can't.
Yeah, but you can. You could, because what you're not doing is you're not dieting. You're changing your approach to eat what you're consuming. So the time of when you're eating it, what you're eating and when, the sizes of what you're eating and when. It's important to get the right thing. So go protein heavy, because obviously the body works harder. And I'm not a nutritionist to digest that protein. So go protein heavy, and be selective when you eat it and what you eat and what times. You can change that, and you're still going to get enough calories to fuel what you're doing. It's just that point of you don't need to have 82 kilograms of pasta and a pizza before you go and run 6 miles. But you feel like you do. Don't get me wrong, Wilco. You feel like you do, yeah? This is somebody who had a big bowl of pasta downstairs and then had 2 bags of crisps. I didn't need them, but I'm addicted to crisps. So
yeah, but you're sort of 10 stone wet through, mate. You get away with it.
But my point is that it's a mindset shift is what you need.
Yeah, it's just there's always something that comes out of, like when I come out of when I did the marathon before, right, I'll do a bit of yoga. I did that before Leeds. That went quite well.
Yeah.
After Leeds, what am I not doing? Oh, I'm not going to the gym. I start going to the gym. So I started doing that before York. So there's always some piece of the jigsaw to put in.
Yeah.
And the one before Brighton this time is food.
Diet. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. And well done, right?
I'm not saying it's a lost cause or anything like that.
No.
I'm not here all depressed about it.
No.
But I know I've got to do something about it.
Yeah, and fair play to you for owning it. You know, to having the minerals to know it. So, and good for you, mate. And we will all support you, as you know. So, good for you. Good for you, bro. What about you, Hayden?
Mine's a little bit double-edged. Whereas one side of it is I've done some unbelievable races abroad this year. I think I think it was like 8 races in different countries this year. And whereas that has been absolutely awesome, if I'm honest and I sit down and I evaluate and I look back now, I think maybe I've overdone it a little bit. Doing 3 marathons in a year, I've realised that's not for me anymore. It's taking its toll on my body. Back is just absolutely, that could have happened any time. My back's not in good shape. I know my knee will end up coming back at some point. Maybe I've overdone going abroad this year with too many different races. It's taken a lot of my year up. I think mentally I'm a little bit exhausted, if I'm honest about it. So maybe that is why when I look back, I think to myself, that is something I need to improve on maybe next year. Even though it's difficult because I get so attracted to these races and these events and they're so brilliant. I just want to do them all. But maybe that is, it's a great thing. So I've had some, honest to God, unbelievable experiences all over the world. But I think maybe I've done it a little bit too much.
That's the problem when you've got a private jet. It's true, don't it? Was it? Okay. I'll just see the time. What I want to do, and I think it's a great way to finish it, I want you to highlight somebody within the club or community who you think has been exceptional this year. Now, that can be from their running. That can be from the what they've given you personally. That can be what they've given the club, the community. That could be they're an unsung hero. That can be, you know, the transformation that they've had this year. I want to take this opportunity to give a bit of a shout out, really, to somebody, because there's so many. We're so blessed, and this is the one thing that I took away from Wednesdays, that we're so blessed as a club and community. There are such amazing, genuine people who are all here for the same reason, you know, which is, you know, to be part of something. It's rather special, to support each other, one big family. And it's not, you know, cheesy or anything like that. It's true. You see it like every time we all get together, and we see it even like virtually. So I just wanted an opportunity for you guys to sort of maybe give one person a shout out, because you know, they probably don't even realise that person may not even realise. So we'll go back to the Hobbit.
What is this?
Don't you pick mine.
The position, no, I wouldn't, because I know yours is going to be. The position that I'm in, obviously, with regards to the club and what I do, this question is difficult. And there has been so many people helped me out do my job this year. And people give me a lot of gratitude, saying, oh, you've done this, that's brilliant. I couldn't do any of it without all the people around me. And I know that. And the list is massive. If I'm thinking, as soon as you said it, one person stood out to me, because I think the support they've given other people this year is off the scale. They've turned up to so many races, started a satellite club themselves, always been there to help out. And this person, there'd be so many people that agree with me with this. He basically runs a global running crew himself.
I know what he's going to say. I'm
going to give a big shout out to Mark. I think Mark, M-A-R-K, do you know what? He's there for everyone. I go to races, I turn up, and I know majority of people in the community, and they'll come over and start talking to me. And then Mark would tell me their whole story. He knows them. He knows their stories in depth. He puts himself out to make sure they're okay. At races, he would go up to see someone complete on their own without a Fordy Runs top on. And whereas someone like myself might not recognise them, he would know. He would recognise. He'd know their story. They'd go over to him and they'd bring them in. And on top of that, he got involved with running the satellite club at Birmingham. He turns up at every race. He's always there to help out. Genuine, nice guy. And do you know what he does with Global Run Crew, he deserves a lot of praise for this year.
Yeah. That's fair. Wilco.
I'll just say, along that line, I would say that I think this year was when it really transformed the whole club. You know, it became, 18 months ago, with the best runner in the world, there was, apart from a couple of the groups up in the northeast, really, it was pretty much a southeast generally sort of group. But now all the people up at north, it's virtually a Yorkshire club, and going to the different events like the Great North, Leeds, Yorkshire, Benidorm, I've met so many more people this year. It's been amazing, and it feels a lot more national. And obviously, got the global running group as well. but it seems so much bigger, and that's great. One person I'd like to highlight, who it's been a recent signing to both Hertford and Broxbourne, is Debbie Waldorf, who has been and who has just got her teeth into the whole concept and just completely buys into the ethos of the whole thing. She's been great. She comes to Broxbourne. She's brought 2 or 3 mates with her. She's always involved. She tries to go to as many events as she can. She's really embraced the whole thing. It's been a massive help to me. And I'd like to give her a shout out because she's somebody who hasn't necessarily got a high profile within sort of like the Facebook community and things like that, but she's getting around and people know her. And the effect that she's going to have and the enthusiasm that she has for the whole thing is going to rub off. And I'd just like to say thank you to her and all the people at Broxbourne who have been brilliant.
Okay, fair enough. Marissa?
Well, my first one is you, obviously, because you started this, but I'm not going to blow.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
no, you can't have me.
I can do whatever I like.
You can't. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can. But actually, I would like to give a shout out to Nettie because I think Nettie is behind the scenes. No one really knows what she does, but some of the stuff she does takes hours and hours and days. She's constantly emailing and ringing, and I just think people don't actually know what she does behind the scenes. So my unsung hero is Nettie.
Unbelievable.
There you go.
I could give you a list of, I'm not joking, I could give you a list of thousands, Paul Beer, Graham, Steph. I mean, you could go completely nuts and go through.
Paul Beer's a great shout.
Yeah. Really good.
But there's so many people who make this club and community what it is. It's really difficult. But I'm actually gonna name 2 people because I'm allowed, because this is my gig. So up to you. But I'm gonna say the chairman and the membership secretary. It's basically my mum and dad.
Yeah.
Because he was there on Wednesday, right? He was loving life. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
He was
loving life, right? He was like bowling about, all right. And then you've got my mum, the membership secretary, who has to deal with England athletics, whose systems are so backward they should be ashamed of themselves. The amount of money they take off of us, of everybody, all the sponsorship agreements they have, but they spend it at the National Running Show instead of spending the money and putting into a system where people can actually just readily apply and it's smooth. So people like my mum don't have to physically put people onto the system. It's just a joke. But she deals. We are the largest running club in the country, right? And she has to manually put people on and deal with queries and deal with all this stuff that comes in. And it's a juggernaut that you lot have created. It's got nothing to do with me. And those 2, right? They're retired, and they're going to kill me. They're nearly into their 80s, yeah, but they are dealing with Fordy Runs every day of the week. Isn't it amazing?
We love them. We absolutely love them.
It's incredible what they've done, and they do. So I just want to say they're sort of unsung heroes that probably nobody. I think we all do, but they don't realise. So and we can't do it without them, basically. So there we go. So I just wanted to end it on that. So next week we're going to be back. No, hang on. Yes, because they will listen to this on the 20th, aren't they? So next week you're going to be listening to another one where we're looking forward. Okay. I've got no idea who's on. Hayden, you got any idea?
I think it's me, you, Ben, and maybe cheeky appearance from admin. Maybe.
Oh, I would have loved it if Speak Up was on.
He might be. Actually. I might have that wrong.
I want to know if he's going to use the gym. Right. So thanks very much. We're going to end this. I'm trying to find the outro thing here. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's here. Right. So are we allowed to wish them a Merry Christmas yet?
Very much so. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And we shall see you next week. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.